Okay, we're going to do another one of the Belgian beer box from Lidl. This is the Piraat, just sort of Belgian ale, I think it is. I think it's like a Belgian strong ale. It's 10% ABV, brewed by Van Steenberge, just like all the other ones from the Belgian beer box are. Your Golden Drac and your Bornum and all those ones. Doesn't say much about it. It's been brewed since 1784, so it's quite a long time on this one. Let's obviously, I mean, they've had these, they've been stocking these in Lidl every so often for years and years and years. I can't remember now, but the first time I saw this in Lidl, it was like, wow, it was like my birthday and Christmas had come all at once. Anyway, let's crack it open and have a see what it's all about. I can't remember a huge amount about this beer really. I can't remember liking it. I do remember liking it. I know it's a light beer. Well, there we go. We've cracked the top open. Let's start pouring it and have a little go. Nice big glass for it there. Got my Golden Drac glass. There we go, that'll do. Get a nice head on there. So we're getting a nice white head there. It's looking a kind of like a golden colour really, I would say. So let's pop it down there. So we've got our Piraat. I think that's how it's pronounced, Piraat. Let's start giving it a swirl. So yeah, so looking at the beer, it's got some nice bubbles there. It's a nice fluffy head, nice fluffy white head. As I say, the colour there, it's definitely a golden colour. 10.5%. I'm expecting quite a lot of flavour from this, but we'll have a see. We'll have a see what kind of flavours we're getting there. So it's not long out of the fridge, this one. Now obviously the flavours develop a bit more when it gets a little bit warmer, but as I say, it's a light beer, so you want it nice and cool. Go on, let's have a see what the nose is giving us. So already we're getting hit with that Belgian yeast that you get in a lot of these stronger beers. Okay, a bit like La Chouffe, the kind of smells you get from La Chouffe. Yeah, it does put me in mind. It does put me in mind, in fact, of the La Chouffe. If you've ever had that one, the one with the little guy on the front. Yeah, so it's got, we're getting kind of getting that Belgian yeast. We're getting grassy, kind of malty kind of notes, a little bit of kind of syrup. I'm getting some golden syrup in there. It does smell quite sweet. It smells quite floral. It smells really good. Yeah, it does. It smells like an amped up version of La Chouffe, really. If you've ever had that, if you've never had that, you won't know what I'm talking about. But let's go in for a bit of a taste. Yeah, you're hit with more of the same flavours really. A lovely kind of creamy, kind of yeasty kind of flavour that you get from a lot of these Belgian beers, especially the lighter ones. That kind of flavour you get in there. I'll have another go. Yeah, again like a sweet syrupy character to it there. Medium carbonation, I'd say. Fairly nice mouthfeel. It's not overly heavy. I mean, obviously stronger, lighter beers tend to not be overly heavy anyway, but this would be a beautiful sipper on a hot day. On a hot day out in the garden, like the days we've had recently. I mean, today it's chucking it down with rain, but so really it's not really a day, you know, I'm not going to be sitting in the garden drinking this when it's chucking it down. It's lovely for inside though. So we're getting some kind of floral notes there, kind of a little bit grassy, a few kind of lagery notes in it, a little bit of banana in there as well, and you tend to get banana. I tend to get banana in a lot of these Belgian beers really. It's quite sharp. It's got quite a sharp arrival, fairly smooth, creamy finish, I would say to it. I wouldn't say it's too bitter, really. It's got a little bit of a tingly of a bitterness there. Let's have a proper go. It's really drinkable. It's very, very drinkable. You could down one of these easy. I mean, obviously after you've had a few pints, you probably wouldn't be able to down one of these, but initially, if you're really thirsty in the garden, it does go down really easily, to be honest. Especially when it's nice and cold. Yeah, I'd say it's got a lot of those floral notes. It's got some kind of West Coast pale kind of characters to it, a bit of lager character to it, some of that kind of Belgian yeast in there with the banana-y kind of taste and smell. You get some spices, some sweet spices in there. It's a good one. It's a good thirst quencher. It's not amazing. It's nice. I say it's not quite up there with Golden Drac, but I do like my darker beers a bit more. Maybe that's just me. But I say this was part of the Belgian beer 6-pack, which is 12 quid for 6 bottles. So I mean, you're not paying a massive amount of price for them. And I'd say at £2, this is unbelievably good value. Yeah. So if you want a good Belgian beer that lets you know what good Belgian beers are like, what the kind of character, the kind of elements that you can get in a good Belgian beer at like twice the price, this is a really good entry point, a good starter point, I'd say. I mean, when you've exhausted things like Duvel and stuff like that, I mean, Duvel's obviously, I think most people would agree that's the perfect starter beer for people wanting to get into strong Belgian beers. But I'd say after that, if you want something a little bit stronger, this is a brilliant starting point, I'd say. Get the Belgian beer pack. I'd always recommend the Belgian beer pack from Lidl to everybody, because it's got a little bit of all the different types of strong Belgian beers that you can get. So all in all, say quality wise, I say it's not unbelievable. It's good, not as good as the Golden Drac. I'm putting it definitely in the B category. I reckon I'd put it as a B. I'd put it as just a B there. Value for money. I'm going to rate this as I said with the Golden Drac, I wouldn't rate it as a £2 beer. This one I'd kind of rate it in that £2 to £3 range, the same range as like La Chouffe and those kind of beers. In that kind of range, for value for money, I would definitely have to give it. I'd give it an A-. I'd definitely have to put it up there, because for that kind of price, for £2 or between £2 and £2.50, there's not a lot of this quality that you could actually get, really. To be honest, this is up there. It really is. So yeah, I'd agree with that. Nice. Let's have another go. Yeah, it's really nice. It's sweet but not too sweet, and it's nice and malty. It's a good sipper. I certainly wouldn't recommend a night on these, but a good sipper as a first beer, or just like a nice little evening beer, or an in the garden thirst quenching beer. Yeah, it's good. Until next time, have a good one.